Today's lesson is about inferring the population mean from the sample. And we're going to come back to something that we learned in previous units, which is the confidence interval. So what we're going to do is from the sample, we're going to come up with the sample mean. And then what we're going to do is we're going to also find the standard error, right? But then we have to multiply it with this t statistic, this t multiplier. And how they identify this t multiplier is there's a table, and you look at your sample size, and you minus 1 from it. So if I had a sample size of 30, I would actually look at 29. And then for whatever my confidence level I want to use, I would use this number, right? We are going to use a calculator, right? So it's not something we're going to focus too much about. But I wanted you to know, in some statistics classes that won't allow you to use a calculator or whatever, what you would do is you would pull out this table, you would look at your sample size, and you would minus 1 from it. And then you would go across to find your confidence level multiplier, right? Your T multiplier. All right, so that's how we find our confidence level. And I think if we do a couple of problems, you guys will get refreshed on how to interpret a confidence level. So let's do the first one. Eagle Boy, an Australian chain of pizza stores, published data on the size of its pizzas to convince the public of their value. Using a random sample of 125 pizzas, the store found that the mean diameter was 11.15 inches, right? So if I were you, right, as we're doing these problems, I would be writing these numbers on the side because you know that you're going to end up having to plug them into the calculator, right? So 125 is n, that's the sample size. 11.5 is x bar, that's the sample mean, right? With a standard deviation of 0.25. And remember, right, S is the symbol for when it's a statistic, right, where it's a sample. Calculate the 95% confidence interval, all right, and then interpret it. So I'm going to go to my calculator. And when you go to the calculator, you'll see this at first, reminding you this is how we find, the confidence interval and all that stuff. And you don't really need to worry about that because the calculator will do it for you. So you put in 11.5 is your mean. 125 is your sample size. Your standard deviations is 0.25. And your confidence interval is 95. You hit calculate. Wait for the screen to load. And you come down here. Your results will be in blue, right? And all we care about is this bracket that says 11.456. And I'm going to copy the whole thing and round it when we get to. So going back to the PowerPoint. So 11.456. Remember, we round to the nearest hundredth. So I look at the 6, it's greater than 5. So it becomes 11.46. And then 11.544 is using the same rounding principle, but I'm not going to show it. It's that. So I am 95% confident, right, that the diameter of their pizzas, the mean, the average, is somewhere between 11.46 and 11.54, right? And I don't really know how large pizzas are, so I don't know if that's impressive or not, but that's what I could say as a statistician, right? Okay. A random sample of 35 two-year colleges in 2012, 2013 had a mean tuition for in-state students of 2,918 with a standard deviation of 1079. So remember, you write down these numbers. 35 is N. 2918 is X bar. 1079 is S. Find the 90 confidence interval and the 95, right, for in-state tuition for all two-year colleges in 2008, 2009. interpret the intervals. And then, but first, they want us to verify that the necessary conditions hold. I didn't talk about the necessary conditions, but can you guess what they are? If you remember what we did in the past 2 weeks, it's those three conditions for central limit theorem, right? So, is it random? Is the sample size greater than 25? And is the population 10 times bigger than the sample? All right, so it is random. They said so, right? They said that our sample was random. 35 is bigger than 25. So far we're like, check, check. And is the population 10 times bigger than the sample? Well, 35 times 10 is 350, and I'm pretty confident that in the entire United States, there are more than 350 two-year colleges. I'm wondering if in New York State there's maybe, well, I don't know if there's more than 350, but who knows? But I'm pretty confident that in the entire United States, there's more than 350 two-year colleges. So I can move on. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to do my 90. So I'm going to go to my calculator. All right. So the sample mean was 2918. The sample size was 35. Standard deviation was 1079. And let's do 90% first. So my confidence interval. So 90% is between 2609.6 and 3226.4. Right? Now, let's see, quick question. What do you think will happen when I change it to 95? Is it going to get wider or is it more narrow? Let's see if you remembered. So remember, 95% more confident means that it should be wider, right? Because we're gonna expand that a little more. So it's going to start at 2,547, and it's going to cap at 3,288.65. Man, I wish I went to a two-year college instead of a private school my first 2 years. I will tell you, I spent at least 10 times that much. All right, so let's interpret what this means, okay? So I'm gonna go to a blank screen. Oh, did I not do one? All right, so I'll make a blank screen. Slide white. All right, so let's do the 90%, right? So I am 90% confident that for a 2-year in-state tuition to a 2-year college, it's between $2,609.60 to $3,226.40. What a bargain. Oh, sorry. My student loans are due. All right, so I'm 90% confident that somewhere in between there is the average cost of two-year colleges. It's either between 2,600 and 3,226 per year. All right, 95%. I'm 95% confident that that colleges, right? It's between $2,547.35 and $3,288.65, right? Between those two, right? So, that is that. You're going to fill out your guided notes, and then we're going to do this for half the week. We're kind of wrapping up this unit because you're basically getting the major things here. Because our unit project and also our end of the year project is approaching, and it's going to be an interesting one. And we're going to spend about the 2 weeks working on it. So we're going to wrap this up in the next 2 weeks, and then we got 2 weeks left of school, and then your project is due. Okay, I hope you guys are well, enjoying the weather as best as you can. Feel free to contact me if you're stuck. And I have to say, guys, I'm really proud of you. You guys have been doing really well this time. Okay, bye-bye.